Great Lakes Laser Supply. What is going on, everybody? If you are seeing this live, do me a favor, let me know where you're watching from. As always, we are in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But let me know where you are. What's the weather like? And what are you working on tonight? I wouldn't mind getting into a couple different things. One of the things I was thinking is, what are you guys struggling with? So as you're coming in, if you are trying to figure out what you are working on, what goals for the week, what things do you have going on? We are busy as always. There we go. Got my volume off. We are good to go. So yeah, just wanted to go live tonight, Monday night. Just a quick live to hear what you're struggling with. Even if you're watching this after the fact, let me know. Share in the comments what you're struggling with. I always go back and watch these streams days later, week later. They go away after 30 days. So I love interacting with these after. So definitely share what's your struggle. And a lot of people in the group, we've all had some of the same struggles. So share what you're working on, what you're struggling with, and other people are always willing to jump in and share, give their 2 cents. What's up, Robin? Hannah B, what's up? Hannah B. Organization of thoughts. Yeah, that's a huge one. That's a struggle. I try to have a daily routine where I can try to keep those things organized, try to make a to-do list, try to manage a to-do list. What's up, Crystal? Focus. What's that? What's focus? How do you focus when you got a million things going on? I think you guys know I do. Robin, time management. I have been loving seeing what Robin's got going on, working with her new laser. I think she just posted a video like a few minutes ago. What's up, Ben? Organization of the shop. I tell you what's been really, really nice. We did not really want to have that extra expense of having an office. But having that office and being able to have the lasers there and the organization, it was kind of funny. Molly came to the office one of the first times, and I try to keep the office organized because I really want it to be a place where I can get some things done and not be distracted. So I would say the our office is more organized than our home office. I'm terrible. I'm not good. What's up, Jordan? So if you guys are just coming on, I said, share in the comments. Let us know what you're struggling with, what you need help with. Gotta stop adding and focus. It's very true. I was on Fox News today. If you guys have not seen, that was an absolute blast. Running mine as we speak. West Texas, icy. How to sell the hat clips. That's easy. You got to bring the hat clips value. My whole strategy with hat clips kind of stems from Gary Vee. If you're not familiar with Gary Vee, he worked in his dad's liquor store and brought value to some of the bottles of wine that people had not heard of before. When we started carrying hat clips, people pick them up off our craft show table and be like, "What's a hat clip?" And so you've got to explain what the hat clip is, and really taking a step back, the whole hat clip, it really applies the strategy applies to a variety of products. No matter what you're selling, you have to bring it value. The cool thing about a hat clip is nobody knows what it is yet. You get to bring it value and show what a hat clip can do. It can be business marketing, it can be advertising, it can be a business card, it can be your logo. It can be so many different things. So you've got to sell that to your customer, and it's a new product. So you're not going to have people coming to you asking, "Do you carry hat clips?" Like that's not going to happen for a while. So having something that's brand new, you kind of have to tell people and sell it to them, what a hat clip is. And I got a brand new one. I just posted a picture of this. Um I got one of our bookmarks on a hat from Desiree as a hat clip. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, I think these hats are stinking cool. I have resisted the urge from buying blanks of those hats to laser because I don't need one more thing to laser. Got to try to focus. Oh, did it focus? Oh, there you go. You guys got to see it. But I think that looks so cool. But yeah, Bubba, most importantly, you've got to bring a value. No matter what we're talking about, whether it's the wallets that we kind of started with when we shifted from earrings and ornaments, I was bringing value to those wallets. Um, a lot of the people here in Greenville and Rockford area, they didn't know what a hat clip was. So, oh, there we go. Now I'm centered. So, or not hat clip, wallet. So these RFID blocking wallets that we started with, I had to do the same thing with those. I had to bring those wallets value, show them, sell them, get the customer hands on with them so that they had that same sense of appreciation and kind of like, they got to like, what the hat clips are. Maria, decals, 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 more decals. That's awesome. I need to come up and check out your shop sometime, Maria. Keychains arrived today. You need to start getting those engraved. I'm excited for you, Greg. That's a nice order. Michigan Maker Summit. Will, I actually have a message on my screen to you. What's going on? Long time no talk. Adding is the issue. I feel like adding things is the issue for everybody. We need focus. We need to focus on getting efficient. That's why like when I'm coaching or teaching people, I tell them try to start with 1 to 3 products so that you can work through all those systems and processes that it takes to be successful with those 1 to 3 products. But I need to take my own advice and and focus. It's ADDing. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. It was really cool. Hey Oli, what's up? Um seeing the Fox live, today. Well, it wasn't live. We recorded on Friday, but getting to see it like their editing and everything that they did was really cool to see it today, and then get to see the video a little bit later. But it was pretty cool being on Fox, talking about the Michigan Maker Summit, bringing the one laser on site. So I'm in outside the green room, and we in this smallish hallway, and we've got the giant one laser and the filter box. We're like in the hallway. Like people from production were coming out of their area because it's like glass, and they could see where we were. So people were coming out and they're like, "What in the world is this thing?" So it was pretty cool to have them come out. I had a bunch of hat clips pre-made. So I was then as people came up to check out the laser in the hallway who worked for Fox, I was giving them, Fox Morning Mix hat clips in a business card, of course. You've always got to be ready. Website and samples bringing in more work. Yeah, they say that January is one of the slowest months of the year. Um, but I just think it's time to buckle down and really focus on like B2B. Businesses are kind of doing the same thing. They're planning out their year, doing a bunch of different things. So I think that's a good time to make those business connections to work on some B2B, in my personal opinion. What else are you guys working on? What are you struggling with? I feel like, we are all struggling with the same things. We need to work on this together. We need to grow in business together. That's definitely the goal. So, if you guys have not seen, I've been working full force. I dedicated almost 2 full days last week to the Michigan Maker Summit. Got a lot of the details worked out, and that Michigan Maker Summit is going to be March 13th and 14th. Really excited to add Friday night to the mix. Have that 3-hour period where people will be able to grab some appetizers, meet the vendors. I've gotten a lot of feedback, and some of it was that people wanted more time with vendors, and some of them, somebody told me that they didn't know what to say to the vendors because they didn't know any of them. So I'm hoping Friday night can help those relationships, help people to feel a little more comfortable talking to each other, getting to know each other, making some of those valuable connections. Because without those connections and that networking, we definitely would not be where we are. Thank you, Oli. The Maker Summit this year is going to be great. But so many of the people, some of you guys that are here, we met at something like this, or we met on Facebook, or we met on TikTok. Oli, I met on TikTok. Greg, we got to know through Facebook. Jordan, we've never met in person, or did we meet in person? I don't think we have, but gotten to know each other over Facebook. So many of these relationships are from networking, getting to know other people in the industry, and that's what helped us to grow to where we are. We would not be anywhere near where we are if it wasn't for so many key people, in the laser world. And most of those started on TikTok, believe it or not. If you would have told me years ago that I was going to be talking to people that I met on TikTok, every day, David and I, we met because of Facebook. We met in the Michigan laser group. We kind of coordinated somehow. I was like brand new in the group, and I helped coordinate getting together. What station was I on again? I want to see if the segment is online now. It is online now. You're going to go to Fox Morning Mix. If somebody's able to, Larry, you may be familiar with it since you're in the area, but if you go to Fox Morning Mix, it'll be right at the top. Our segment is one of the ones at the top there, and then you can click on it and then watch that. I'll pull it up right now and I'll post it in the comments. But it was, yeah, going back to that, that was just it was a lot of fun. It was very, if you see in the beginning of the video, I mean, my hands are like stuck to my sides because I am nervous. I was very, very nervous. Ricardo, ¿qué pasó? So there is the link to the to our Fox segment on the morning mix. It was really, really cool. I was nervous. I didn't feel nervous like too much ahead of time, but once we got in there and it was like go time, I was just trying not to put my hands in my pockets, and they're just like stuck to my sides. It was a lot of fun. I got to figure out where their video is hosted so I can download that. They shared me some links with me, but it's not the full video. So hoping to get that video so we can share it additionally. Am I the only one who keeps getting sick for weeks? Ricardo, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say anything. I've got 4 kids, and usually it's like sick kid after sick kid after sick kid. But we got 17 people watching right now. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know what you guys are struggling with. Is there something you guys want to talk about? You want to talk through? My goal is to just go live for like 20 or 30 minutes here, talk through some stuff, have some conversation. We're talking about today's video that went live. I was on Fox 17 promoting the Michigan Maker Summit that's coming up March 13th and 14th. One big thing I want to do at the Michigan Maker Summit is work on our maker meetups. And Greg's had some great ideas for that. I've had a couple more ideas, and I've even got some ideas to help engagement with the in the vendor room. I want to encourage people kind of making those connections. I'm thinking about doing like a bingo card of sorts, so that if you get a bingo by talking to so many of the vendors, um, then you maybe win something of some sort. But we're gonna put something together for that. Watching from Highland, Wisconsin, way far west. So I was excited. Oli posted, "Hey Pam, how are you doing? Hope you're feeling better." Um, so I thought that I was like 4.5 hours from Oli. He posted that he was having his grand opening, like an open house, and I was like, you know what? That would be the coolest thing to go over, check it out. And when I mapped it out to Oli's open house, it was like 8 hours. Oh man, I was so disappointed. I wish we all lived like 30 minutes away from each other, so hanging out was a lot easier. Your website is live and working now after a year. That's awesome, Larry. I think I checked it out. I am pretty sure that I saw the new website maybe like a week ago. I don't know if it was live yet. Glad you're feeling better, Pam. So I know in the beginning I asked, what you guys were struggling with, and it sounded like focus was a big thing. Do you struggle with focus? Time management? I think I could definitely be better about time management, but it's always like I'm always thinking about the next thing. I need to focus more and get one thing done before moving on the next because I'm terrible at that sometimes. Hey Barbara, how are you doing? It's only 4 hours twice. That's so true. Yours is live now too, Maria. Post it in the comments. Larry, post your website in the comments. Maria, post yours in the comments. We can all check it out. Dexter, what's going on? My favorite hats are made by Dexter. The last Michigan Maker Summit, my vision was, about all of us, building a foundation and finding your people. And I really wanted like the things, my shirt, I wanted the hat and different things. Like if you look at the Michigan Maker Summit badge, it's got who made them on the back, it's got the Michigan Maker Summit on the front. The hat's got Dexter's logo on the one side and the Great Lakes Laser Supply on the other. xccreations.com. Definitely check that out, guys. Maria's got a great selection. She's got a ton of equipment. Her shop is looking pretty good. I gotta get. Oh, I lost it. My problem is that there's not enough time in the day. I could not agree more. I've seen everyone else's weather. I'm glad I'm not 30 minutes away. Yeah, that is very true, Will. It is not pretty here. The roads are terrible. It's not good. The kids went to school for like one day last week. And I would say that's Molly's biggest problem with the weather is the snow days. What makes it even worse is our kids are in two different school districts. So they have different snow days. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Polebarnsessions.com. If you guys haven't seen Larry's stuff, it has been incredible to see their booth set up. I went and saw them. They were really close one day, and I went and saw them at an event. Their setup was impeccable. They were at a fairground in Greenville, and I really appreciate them not getting discouraged because there was no one at this event. But their booth looked incredible. They were both still there, just manning their booth, making sure they were there if anybody wanted to come. Ooh, DTF Uploader. That's awesome, Maria. I feel like there are some big companies out there who do DTF that don't have a streamlined uploading process. I think that's huge for that kind of stuff. I think it's huge for a lot of us, but especially when you're wanting to sell like a gang sheet of DTF. What do you guys think about are these called suede hats? I don't even know what these are called. I mean, I know they're made from polyester, but I think they're called suede hats. I don't know. Tell me what they're called. But engraving these is like the coolest thing I've wanted to do that I have somehow resisted not adding one more thing that we needed to do. But I wanted one. Desiree sent me this to test. I wanted to see how the bookmarks looked on here as a hat clip. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. Bless your heart. Vegan suede. Thank you, Cindy. Vegan suede. Is this a woman's hat? I think it is. That's pretty big. Yeah, I'm over the snow. It can stop now. I'm not usually one to complain about the weather because it is what it is. Complaining about the weather doesn't change the weather. But I'm ready for spring. But also we are having fun skiing. I had a pretty good wipeout yesterday. It was pretty funny. I was following Emma down the hill. She bombed the hill. I tried to keep up with her, and then I crashed into the fence. Them look cool. Look like fun. Yeah, Larry, I they look incredibly fun. I see people laser engraving these, and I really want to do them. I don't need to, but I would like to. We need to focus. Focus. But yeah, I've got a lot of exciting things coming for the Michigan Maker Summit in March. It is going to be awesome. What's up, Shirley? How are you? I haven't talked to you in a while. I hope you're doing well. We still working on our website, getting the new website ready to go. You sell like 5 or more a week of these hats, Cindy? That's incredible. What are the margins? I mean, you don't have to say the margins, but I mean, that's my first question really about everything. If I'm even deciding about carrying a blank, I'm not even thinking about how much can I make on selling you the blank. That's not really my thought process. My first thought is what can your margins be on selling the blank? I don't know if that's normal for somebody to think through the process like that, but I always want to put myself in your shoes and think about, you know, what is your strategy going to be? Who are you going to sell it to? What kind of margin can you make? How long does it take to laser? Is it difficult? That's why I'm so passionate about the hack clip. It's not the hack clip. It's just all of those different things that come along with the hack clip. It's quick and easy to engrave. It's easy to sell. You can use it for a ton of different things. You pay 20, sell for 65 and up. That's awesome, Cindy. That's a pretty good margin. And I would imagine, probably what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes? I don't remember what laser you have. But, it's not really about the hack clip. It's just all of the pros that come along with the hack clip for me. It's quick and easy to engrave. You can do it with any laser, customizable. It can be a business card. It can be, branding for your company. You're doing suede purses also. Cindy, you got to post more pictures of the hats. I don't care where you get them, or, I don't want anybody ever to think that they can't share a project of something that they got somewhere else. Okay, use your CO2. How long does it take? 20 minutes or so? But definitely don't ever hesitate to share something that you guys are working on. Um, I want it to be a community of, where we can see all sorts of different things. What else is going on, guys? What are you working on? Has anybody else got something like that? Cindy, that's awesome. I had no idea you did the hats. Trying to think back to your craft show videos from the summer. I don't recall seeing the hats, but I don't have the best memory. I was actually just flipping through the next level brochure, looking for some potential like vendors to reach out to or companies to reach out to for the Michigan Maker Summit. Kind of channeling my inner Will and Mark. Been scared to show things not from you? No, definitely never. You don't ever have to do that, Shirley. There's I don't know how much overlap. Like Liz, for example, I talk to Liz often. She sells blanks, some similar things. I don't have a problem with that. End up in the back of the truck. Pat, that's pretty funny. Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah, that video was a lot of fun to make. Rachel, my daughter, was the one in the back of the truck, and Molly was the camera person for that. Pat, that is pretty funny. Working on some new ideas. I can't wait to see Larry. We're all scared. I guess maybe I shouldn't have posted that video. I thought it was all in fun. Did you guys see the hack clip that David UV printed today? He used the Jig Gen Pro to make a jig. Well, he said he did, but I actually had to do it for him. And then he took that, combined it with Jim's jig for his UV printer, and he's going to be running some UV printed hat clips for me tomorrow. Awesome! I can't wait to see him, Larry. You don't have to worry about ending up in the back of the truck for sharing pictures. But so that's kind of what I'm working on this week. We've got some UV printed wallets that David's going to be doing. I've got UV printed hat clips David's going to be doing. I'm working on stuff for the Michigan Maker Summit. We've got another news station we're working on getting on. We've got another segment we're doing with Fox for the Michigan Maker Summit. We'll be demonstrating a 3D printer, a different laser, and just kind of still building up hype. I'll throw an idea at you guys. We got 14 of you watching. One thing I'm trying to figure out how to execute, and maybe, I don't know if Heidi's watching, Larry, you're watching, Cindy, you're watching. I've got an idea, and I don't know if it's going to be possible to execute. So in the first part, like the morning of the summit, there's about an hour and 15-minute portion where we'll be in the general session room. And I've got this really crazy idea where I would like to open the vendor floor up to local, like kids, like not Science Olympiad. What am I thinking? Like robotics teams, or like, high school or middle school kids who are into 3D printing, lasers, UV printing. I'd almost like to be able to execute having for like 1 hour open for them to kind of come in and check out all the different stuff that's going on. But I don't know if that will be easy to execute or not. Well, we're all in the general session. I'd have to almost rely on somebody to run that for an hour, but I don't know if that's reality. Do you guys think that that would be cool? Do you think it'd be possible? I know that there's lots of kids that would probably want to come. It'd be like an hour window, probably from like 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on a Saturday. So is that really realistic to try to execute something like that? I think it would be really cool. I think it would be nice to, just have that opportunity for kids to come get hands on, and we kind of grow our industry a little bit, start planting that seed for kids to see some of those creative things that are, outside of just playing some video games. I try to encourage Brinley, my 9-year-old, to make some things with the laser, but there's so many things that you can do with 3D printer, with the laser. I want to kind of get some of those kids excited, have them check some of that stuff out. But I don't know if it's a reality to be able to execute that. Those who want to learn will show. Yeah. But we've got tons of like robotics teams locally. There's kids maker teams in high school. And I think it'd be really cool to have them come. You could help with that, Larry? I think I may try to figure it out. Maybe I'll start with a couple of the local teams and see interest in coming. Tracy, what do you got going on? Tracy, we got so many people in here that are just got all the cool equipment. Tracy's got a new UV printer. I love seeing the print on the canvas that you guys did, and then your new logo. Your new logo is looking pretty sharp. Throw it out there and maybe limit the number of kids so it's less chaotic for a couple people to facilitate. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe limit to like 40 kids. That would probably be, let's say there's teams. Teams probably have 10 to 20. So maybe I would do like 50 or 60 kids. The school I work has a laser. Kids really had no interest in it until I started bringing in things I made with the laser. And that's, Pat, that's definitely the whole point of the summit is I want not just the kids, but I want the adults, everybody to be able to get hands on and see this stuff. Hats, skinny tumblers, UV slate. That's awesome. What's up, Chris? I wish I got to see Chris more often. He lives so close. You've been looking into different lenses for my CO2, maybe a compounded lens. I have not heard of a compounded lens. Typically, I have a 2-inch lens, 2.5, a 3, and a 4-inch lens. They kind of serve different purposes. The 4-inch is really for getting that clearance over, let's say you want to do a cutting board with something around the edge or a bowl. It just gives you a much larger focal distance for those lenses. And maybe that's what you mean by compounded lens, but I am not sure. 2 of our grandkids bought 3D printers 3 weeks ago. Both are making money every day. They are 9 years old. That's awesome. That is awesome. I've got one of our 3D printers at the office now, and then I still have our bamboo printer at home. And then we've got another one on the way, actually. So we will have three 3D printers. Well, cool, guys. I try to keep these short. I want to answer some questions, just kind of hang out and chill for a little bit. So if you guys have any other questions, things that you're struggling with, I will come back and answer those later on. I love reading through the comments that come in days after the live. So even if you're watching this after the fact, throw in the comments. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know where you're watching from. What kind of stuff are you working on this week? Maria, I want that maxi table for my CO2 Galvo when it comes. What kind of stuff do you want to use it for? I got a cool project we're gonna do with David. I don't want to. Be posting a lot more about the maxi table coming up soon. I don't want to spoil anything, but we got some cool stuff coming. Maria, let me know if you ever want to come check it out. The maxi table is at our office in Rockford. Also, side note, thank you so much for the quick turnaround. I lost it. Thanks so much for the quick turnaround and delivery on my recent order. I can't wait to do some hat clips and wallets. No problem. We try to ship orders same day. Anything that comes in before noon goes out same day. And if we're able to, if they come in after, we still get them out same day. I really want you guys to get your orders as quickly as possible. You know, we're a new company trying to grow, and I want to make sure that there's no obstacles. I don't want somebody having to wait for their order. There have been a few here and there that are, you know, mostly because of the post office. But you know, I really want to have that sense of urgency. You know, there's times where I'm getting ready to go to bed for the night, and a couple orders come in. I just pack them up and get them ready to go, so that make sure you guys get your orders as quickly as possible. Yeah, that's true. A you know, curved surface with the 4, because it just gives you a much larger um, focal distance. So not only the clearance, but it gives you a larger window that you can engrave in. So yeah, that's totally true, Chris. And that's true with a fiber laser or with a CO2 laser. Your 18-year-old granddaughter came over this summer and worked on a project on my AP laser, and she loved it. That's awesome. Um, on my family Christmas day, I got my dad a laser for Christmas, and we ran the laser for probably 6.5, 7 hours that day. We were making all sorts of cool stuff. Tracy says to buy 2 maxi tables. The maxi table is sweet, guys. If you didn't see my video on the slate coasters or the keychains, absolutely incredible. If you are running large orders, the maxi table is just a time saver. Like with fiber laser, I feel like the person running the machine is always the bottleneck. And I almost thought with the maxi table, it was going to remove that a little bit. But even with the maxi table, Molly and I were both at the office running these keychains, and we could barely keep up. My week is going to be patches, stickers, hats, and apparel. Watching from Pennsylvania, trying to get my life together. Good luck, Katie. We're all in the same boat. Hey, Christina, what's going on? You're messaging me while I'm live. So if you guys are wondering at all, Christina does sell these hats. Oh, what the heck? I have my 3D. I have 3D printer platens right here, and our build plates, and it's stuck to the build plate. But Christina does sell these hats. These are they suede hats? Is that what they're called? I said earlier. I forgot already. But Bay Area blanks. I'll post a link in the comments. But if you wanted to check out these hats and the new hat clips or bookmarks, you decide. I think Christina sent me the link. Where'd it go? Too many windows. This is the only computer I don't have multiple monitors on. Vegan suede. Vegan suede. I guess if I'm going to talk about it, I should probably know what they are. There is a link to Bay Area blanks for the vegan suede hats. I know I have resisted ordering them, but if you guys want to check them out, definitely check them out from Christina, Bay Area blanks. It was awesome getting to meet her at the next level. Oh, you've purchased from them. That's awesome. Vegan suede hats. They're addicting to engrave. That's why I have resisted, because I don't need one more thing. We honestly try to do less and less engraving work, not because we want to, but it just, when you're in the got a rhythm of filling orders or doing the things that we do for Great Lakes Laser Supply, trying to do that one-off order is it really messes up the flow of things. And it stinks, because I would say those one-off orders that really, bring a smile to somebody's face is what I enjoy the most. It's 2 lenses stacked up, supposed to make it possible to run high DPI. I have never had an issue. I would just do a 1-inch or a 2-inch lens. I've done pretty high resolution photos with my CO2 with a 2.5-inch lens. But I've never heard of the compounding, Greg. I don't know why you would need to. I've done some pretty incredible pictures with the CO2. But we are running into about 30 minutes here, guys. If you got any last minute questions, go ahead and throw them in there. Just to reiterate a couple things, we got the Michigan Maker Summit coming up March 13th and 14th in Rockford, Michigan. Friday night is going to be 3 hours of networking and appetizers. Saturday is going to be a full day. Check-in starts at 7 a.m. and then we get things going at 8 a.m. on the main stage. We're going to have breakouts. We're going to have vendors. There's going to be tons of cool stuff and equipment that you guys can get hands on. And the whole point of the Michigan Maker Summit is to really grow our community and to grow everyone's network, build a foundation together, and so we can all grow in business together. The Michigan Maker Summit, you can get hands on with stuff, see equipment that you don't normally get to see. So I am really excited about that. I really do appreciate all you guys for being here. Again, if you're watching this after the fact, don't be afraid to still throw some stuff in the comments. I love tomorrow, the next day, scrolling through, answering questions, interact with each other. Cheyenne, what's up? How are you doing? Good to see you. But don't hesitate to throw something in the comments. You still have a question, something you're struggling with, something you just want to talk about. What's going good for you? And I'm happy to answer those questions. And so are a lot of other people here. This community is why we are where we are. There's so many people here that have been instrumental in our success in where we're at. So I want us all to have that with each other. If you're struggling with something, somebody else has struggled with that. So as soon as you have kind of worked through something, help someone else work through that same thing. Cheyenne, what are you working on? Do you have any lives planned? I know, I think it was last week or so I saw you live. But you guys have a great evening. I appreciate you for being here. Have a good night. And we will have those American flag hat clips live. I'm shooting for Wednesday. But if I don't have them by Wednesday, you guys know it's David's fault. So shoot David a message. Ask him. Do me a favor, even just for the heck of it. If you're watching still, ask David, shoot him a message. Hey, are the flag hat clips ready yet? Because Blake needs them to go live on his website by Wednesday. You guys have a good night. Thank you for being here. Make good choices, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, guys.